We're behind, but there's the 14-year-olds and all these new ones.
I'm telling you, by the time they turn 25, we're gonna be in the zoo. We're gonna exist in the zoo, and they're gonna come look at us like that's how people used to be.
What, with volley?
No, just. Listen. The thing I love, and hate about this upcoming generation is the same sentence. If they understand it, they do it well. That's the thing I love about this generation and hate about this generation. Like this generation of players, when I grew up, when some coach asked me to do something, and I asked why, he's just like, why? Why in your vocabulary, nigga? Go.
Right.
Yeah. You know. But now the kid asks why. And if there's time, not during the time I'm not in the game. If there's time, and they understand why they're more productive, and that's the good thing about them. And at the same time, it's the fucking bad thing about them, because sometimes if they don't understand why, you gotta have a little.
Put your why away.
Gotta have a little faith.
But you gotta build that trust, because that's the same thing I say in parenting. Is like you have to say they have to understand what you're about. Yeah. At some point, you just because I said
doesn't fly
creates
anymore.
rebellion. They walk out and they're done. But if they understand what you're about, not to say they're not going to do what they do, but you have a lot better track record when they know and
Way better. Yeah, this is my take on the generation.
Faith in them too, I guess, right?
Yeah,
the people
for sure.
Please go ahead.
Because the people before us didn't have technology. We were in between. The 90s kids were in between. We had to go to the library.
Yeah.
Tweeners, yeah.
And then
I was just telling him this yesterday. When I was in college,
library.
I had to go to the library. Didn't have a computer, and my senior year got an email address, and it was an assignment.
Or dial-up.
Get an email address. That was it. Or
dial-up.
Yeah.
2 more days. Like, are you kidding me?
50.
Like, you know what I mean?
You're 50. I'm 43.
48.
You guys are kids.
25.
48. Yeah.
38.
Right behind you.
Well, he's 24.
You want to talk about kid? He's like, wait, you guys are talking about me right now.
90s kid.
When I had that job in Greece, there was barely dial-up. That barely existed.
Exactly.
The last thing I sent my mom from Greece was a fax.
Yeah.
Nice.
Happy birthday, fax.
Yes.
That being said, this new generation right now, when they want information, pick up a phone. The results right away, and if you can't keep up with that, they get repelled.
You still gotta trust them to process.
But they have to understand that this. I explain to my kids your mom and your dad's generation was library people. We were library people. So if you expect us to be like Google, you're like, sorry, we're not Google. Like we can't give it to you. Right
for me, I'm a returning adult student. So I went back to school in the 2000s. I was in the Army. Went to Hunter College for a year just to play volleyball. I didn't even study. I dropped out, and then you're right. That was a transitional thing where we had to go to Juilliard's library to get stuff before we got that information. But it's also about trusting them. You ever see In the Army Now? Stupid Pauly Shore movie. The drill sergeant says, she said, pull the pin from the grenade, drop the pin, and throw the grenade. So he goes. He's like, get out, hit it! It's like, fuck. And he looked at her, he didn't, he looked at her like, what's next? What's next? It's your ass. I mean, that's about trust.
I got my master's in 2005 or 2008. Didn't own a laptop.
See?
Never owned a laptop. People in the class would look at me like, what's your problem? What are you doing? How are you getting? I'm like, I was some notes.
I was a multimedia student.
I remember phone numbers.
Yeah.
I still remember my phone number growing up because there's certain things you just retain in knowledge.
I was a multimedia student, and that's a laptop job. And I didn't own one. And I didn't even finish. When I got out, I still didn't know your own with no laptop.
Really?
I do.
You know what I mean? Just working hard and just like, no, man. I need a laptop. I need an iPad. No, you don't.
It's on the job training as much as.
You just retain it better, right? Just things you see and just keep in.
Well,
last year I coached Evolution. Everybody's like, one of the parents is like, all the other coaches have a clipboard. I want to have a clipboard. And I said, ask me how that kid did. I said he's 15 for 21, 6 errors. He's hitting 421. That's what I got from that. That's the idiot savant. I become almost an idiot savant because of we were pre that, and
but that's part of the whole thing with social media these days. Is like you want to document, it's great to have, but then you think like, how do you stay in this present place while you're trying to, like, people are always documenting, and sometimes I want to do that, and then I think, like, no, I'm just going to lock it in.
Better to hold on to it.
You lock it in, and you're like, but you kind of have to be conscious of that, because otherwise you just run around taking pictures of everything, you end up with 8,000 pictures, and who cares?
That's
like,
for
right?
sure.
Like,
I was talking to Cam Green, Cam, right?
Yeah.
Cam last couple weeks ago, and saying how kids don't seem to copy one another in sport as much as they used to. And I'm like, dude, couldn't you, when you were growing up, like, you'd go, hey, here's a throw-off swing. Here's Karchi's swing. Oh, I'm going to go, like, ack high line. And people knew what that meant. Like, that was a different look than this or this. I'm like, in hoops, we used to, like, stand on the free throw line. We go, okay, guess who I am now? And you knew how each guy shot free throws. And I'm like, I think because, I'm like, for me, we had it all on VHS a lot, too.
Exactly.
We would watch it over and over and over. And I'm like, now these motherfuckers have it on YouTube. And they still don't fucking watch it. I can know the difference between two guys' styles.
Exactly.
I would have killed for fucking YouTube. I'm the biggest nerd in the world.
I know, right?
Right?
I would have been a bigger
They have more better access.
So much. And
It's
so
ridiculous.
But that mimicry is what makes you. Right?
Yeah, mine was Steve Timmons. Mine was Steve Timmons that ball.
Jordan, Vince Carter wanted to be Kobe.
My friend was like Steve Timmons that ball. I knew what he meant. Like just you're hitting the top of your hand. Get the sweet spot.
Right, you can handset differently and be like, oh, that was more this guy than this guy.
Yeah, it's like
everyone knew.
It's like you get to that level and then you develop a style.
I became a setter watching videos.
Which one are you going to pick?
I became a setter watching videos of Jeff Stork. When I was in Darmstadt, Germany, I ran into the coach. Welcome to the show. And to the show, we have the great, the hardest working man in America, the James Brown of volleyball. That's Jeff Alzina. And coaching phenom, and the most interesting man in the world, Jaren. Barredo. Welcome to the show, boys.
Thank you.
Nice. Hey, got a whole bunch of fan questions ahead of time via email, but I guess I'm going to ask the first one, which kind of warms us up a little bit, as the temperature in this room, as you can feel, is getting a little bit warmer. Turn the air off. You know how it is. We got to be hot and uncomfortable to answer some questions. Jaren, think back. Where was your first coaching gig?
2011, I decided to quit my full-time job and coach because I was kind of miserable. Like, I live on the beach. Like, I have a sweet little pad in Hermosa. I have a little yard, and I was not happy.
Was it an indoor gig?
It was an indoor gig. It was for Beach Cities, and then I coached in middle school after that. And I loved it. The kids were like my therapy. You know, it brought me back to volleyball
That's a good
again.
quote right
We
there.
can all. Everyone just goes,
I get it.
We've all had seasons like that.
I've always looked at it like we're all students of the sport, and you never stop learning. And they teach you more too, like about myself and about how to treat other people, because it's a lot of people. You got to deal with a lot of people in indoor. And it was good. It was a good. People skills went up a lot. Like, upgraded to that. Yeah. Because it was a lot. There's a lot of different people, and then club, and then I got to coach a Division I boys team 18s.
Okay.
And for Beach Cities, we were ranked like probably one of the bottoms, like 68, and we ended up in 28, 23, 28. It was the Bishop Montgomery boys.
Yeah, I love it.
When they played the finals, and those were my boys. And
nice.
I got a little shout out in Daily Breeze. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and, it was a really good experience for me. It was a lot of growth from that. And, what about Jeff?
Well, that's the next question. Jeff, listen, before I ask you, I've been coaching 20 years as well as you were on our 20th year in 1998. The pedigree of the level, of course, has significant difference. I was more of a local boy, and occasionally I took local teams that got national recognition. But what was your first coaching gig?
Well, first indoor coaching gig was in 1994 at Harbor High School in Santa Cruz. I had a great mentor named Jim Toohey. He worked with a guy named Dave Noble, who's still involved in athletics, I think up at UC Merced. But Jim was a great mentor for me, and I just went out and read as many books as I could about coaching, and went to as many seminars for learning as I could, national seminar, things like that. But my dad was a coach for 30 years in basketball, and both my parents were teachers, so
I kind of knew.
Yeah,
I kind of
you
knew.
have the gene.
Yeah, I kind of knew.
Wow, that's a pretty awesome a path continuation, if you will, where some of the stories are just like my dad's an iron worker. Right. You know,
my kids listen to me all the time say, you know, I had posters on my walls of the people that are coaching you guys and you're playing next to these days. Like when I grew up in the Central Valley, and for my kids to come down here and be coached. I mean, Jeff coached my daughter at...
Go coach the Olympic Games. The second I got there, I was like, this is the most political bullshit in history.
Yeah.
I'm like, get me the fuck out of Greece. That's what I'm going to say.
No, but that's why the camera's on.
Right.
They wanted me to sit down here. So I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. There's so many games being played.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me just go back and coach.
Yes.
And I knew if I came back here, I was like, I can just like coach every day, and Dylan's really my political boss.
Right, there's the trick of generational learning.
So I'm like, Dad,
do we actually listen until...
Right.
Yeah, sometimes some of the things you got to learn on your own.
Are you guys in a good place right now? Personal question. You guys in a good place right
Life?
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you went through a rough patch.
This is my year. Like I posted early this year. Like, screw you, 2018. I'm gonna leave you.
Right, there you go.
I'm gonna go get mine, and if you're gonna drag me, I'm gonna leave you. Like, I don't care. Like, so that's what I did. I just opportunity, going for it. Opportunity, going for it. Like,
absolutely, that's what you do. And
I kind of backburnt a lot of stuff.
That was my 2016. Yeah.
LA karaoke is different.
You know,
showing off.
Yeah. Oh, it's performing. Sweet transvestite.
Filipino karaoke.
Truffle butter. I could do it all, man. I got Bon Jovi.
I'm telling you right now, Filipino karaoke is like, pick the song you can't sing.
Okay.
And
Yes!
So, funny story. I used to live in Long Beach, right by the pyramid actually. So, I'm like, you know, working in my car, and Misty like parks in front of me. Like, and then it starts moving in. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then she sees me in the tour, and I'm like, karaoke king. Like, that wasn't me.